In the last video, I showed you how to put the warp onto the warping frame. In this video, I'm going to show you how to secure the warp, and then we're going to take it over to the loom to dress the loom, to put it on the back of the loom, which is called beaming. So the first stage is to secure our cross. Believe you me, you only lose a cross once. After that, you never forget to tie your cross securely, because your cross is going to give you your threading order, and all your yarns will stay in really close proximity to each other in the right order, which is just what you need. So I'm tying a bow between the arms of the cross. It's kind of forming that kind of shape, and I'm tying a bow around the arms of the cross, and I'm tying it really tightly. It doesn't matter whether you do it tightly or loose, so long as you've got it secured. And then I'm going to do a few little ties just to make life easier for myself. I suppose you could say I'm a bit of a lazy weaver, except I think about things in advance that I don't have to do along the way later. So I'm putting two little ties across each of the arms underneath the cross, so that I can pull the two arms separately for another stage later. And I'm going to put a tie through the end loops just to keep it secure. And I'm using a thicker thread with a contrasting colour so that you can see what you're doing. And I'm doing a similar one through the other end of the loops. And then I'm going to put what's called a choke tie on. And a choke tie literally is choking. You want it to be as tight as you possibly can, so that the yarns in the middle don't slip and slide around each other. Right, we're now ready to beam. Right, here's where we do the chaining. I love the turns in weaving. There's some really lovely ones. So we're going to chain by putting a hand through the loops and then guiding one hand through the loops. Technically speaking, this is a short warp, so we don't really need to do it, but it looks very pretty. Well, perhaps not pretty, but it's very useful. And now we're going over to the loom. Okay, we've come over now to the loom. I'm pushing all the little cords to one side. They're called heddles, we'll come to that in a bit. I'm at the back of the loom. I'm going to push this all the way through to the front. And here's the back loop that you saw me tie up just now. And I'm going to put that onto this stick here. So I'm just quickly going to do that. And I have to use the groupings that I did before, can you see that there? And split them into half so that I can see where my halfway point is, which is roughly 3 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 halves. Okay, I'm going to put half of them there. Slide on the midpoint, which attaches it to the very back. Then put the remaining half on and attach the end one. And now the warp is safely on the back of the loom. Next comes the raddling stage.